Oh God, we're back. We're back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
And CJ got a new computer. She got a new computer. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Hand.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, that's your hand.
Can we
That's
help
your
you?
hand. That's your hand, sir. Yes,
Can
yes.
we help you?
Hungry.
Nom nom.
Nom nom.
Nom nom.
Nom nom. All right, internet world. It is
It's your mom.
8:35 p.m. on the East Coast. On the other coast over there with the smog, it's it's 5:30. And
Oh,
5:30.
somewhere in
oh,
between is
oh.
6:30.
Okay, and by the way, Miss Christina, my dear, your daggum burning state ain't our air quality is terrible because the smoke done descended on Albuquerque. It's just a smoky haze air about.
Mm-hmm. So y'all got the deltas and you're spreading your wildfires. Y'all
Hey,
just
hey. The deltas is also going on in the south, sir. Okay.
the
that
deltas,
variant
the
that
lambdas,
variant is not our fault.
the
Hey,
lambdas.
but the lambdas are out. Nerds!
Keep your Lokis to yourself, ma'am. Keep your Lokis to yourself.
Lamb.
You want all the Lokis
Lambdas.
anyway, so keep the Lokis to yourself. All right.
What do you mean lambdas?
You haven't heard the
Lambdas!
lambdas are next? The lambda is
There's a
next after delta. So they
there's a
skip.
Yes,
lambda variant?
Yes, they
there's a lambda variant. And
they
if you
is
didn't see Revenge of the Nerds, you didn't know that the nerds were the lambdas. So
they
it's
skipped
smarter.
everything in between E and K and went straight
Yeah.
to L.
Like, what about epsilon? Kappa?
None
Lambda
of that.
for the nerds. Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds.
So it is I, Cliff. I'm one of your hosts for CNC SciFi Grill. Oh my God, why is my big old stupid thing right there? That does not help us.
Why is your StreamYard banner over?
Because it's just because StreamYard is retarded like that. Oh, there we go. We can do it that way. Nah, we gonna go back to
You know,
this.
I like that. I like that.
Nah, I don't
Go
know about
back
that
to
one.
the 3. There you go. I like
Yeah, but we all. Yeah, I don't know. To
it. Looks
my
great.
left is my brother Nate, and all the way on the
Nerds.
other end is baby girl Christina,
Ha.
and we are here to discuss things in the sci-fi realm. And this week we will be discussing the Suicide Squad, not to
The
be
Okay,
confused with Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
it's the Suicide. And by the
The
way, while we're discussing this, don't ask why I'm in a hotel. Hoes got to eat too.
Don't
Proceed.
nobody didn't. Christina, let me ask you a question. Did you know he was in a hotel?
I mean, I recognize that it wasn't his house,
But did you know it was a hotel? I was not
But
going to
apparently,
submit that.
apparently,
Why is
hoes
he
gotta eat
submitting?
too.
Why is he
Hoes gotta eat
submitting the
too.
information to the internet like I'm in a hotel? Like you a prostitute
Hotel,
on the corner.
motel, holiday inn. Hey.
As long as
Hoes
it's not
gotta eat too.
as long as it's not a sleep in, you okay?
Oh wait,
Or
it
a
is
Super
a
8. Oh God. Oh God.
Yikes.
Oh God. So we are here to discuss the Suicide Squad. So just so you know, that dropped yesterday, not only on
It was-
HBO Max, but also in the theaters. So there will be spoilers. There are going to be spoilers.
Because it
Just
just
so you
dropped
know.
yesterday.
Right. But there will be spoilers. And again, it's on HBO Max and it's also in theaters. So you don't have to go to the theaters to see it. I went to the theaters to see it, but I'm also an AMC A-list person.
I went
So
to the theaters last night and it took my
Christina's a freshly graduated college student, so going to the theaters is not economically feasible.
The only reason I went on Thursday was because I got a free movie.
Well, see. So again, there will be spoilers.
and
Yes, that's your hand.
Hand. Friend.
So I'm going to start off and say this was loads better than the
Yeah.
original.
Yes.
There was a lot more character development, I want to say,
Yeah.
for what they could do, because it wasn't like everybody had their own singular movie to begin with, like the Avengers, but everybody doesn't have that ability. And it was actually done right. And of course, it was done right because it was written and directed by Mr. James Gunn, who did the Guardians of the Galaxies movies. And of course, not only was Michael Rucker in it, but also his brother was in it as Calendar Man, talking shit to Polka Dot Man. Now, for those of you that don't know, Polka Dot Man and Calendar Man are the most obscure villains in Batman's repertoire. And Batman does have a list of people where you sit back and go, who?
When?
Who?
Someone besides the Joker?
Well,
What?
besides Riddler, I mean, we all know his top ones: Two-Face, Joker, Riddler,
Riddler.
Penguin,
Bang.
and
Bane.
Bane isn't really top tier. Not
I-
really.
I think Bane didn't come up. But go ahead.
Hell, people know the Mad Hatter for some points.
They do.
And then, they went back and found some very obscure people to be in here as far as the villains go. But the most obscure people usually are the ones that end up the most dead in this movie. And the first 5 minutes proves how dead you can be.
Yeah.
You got paid money to just be dead within 120 seconds.
Jack Courtney, Mr.
Pete
Captain
Davidson.
Boomerang. Oh, nobody cared about Pete Davidson. We knew he was gonna die. Come on, it's Pete Davidson.
Yeah, but
ain't
they
made for
took off the whole face. I was like, his
The
whole
whole face.
He was a
whole
traitor
face.
anyway. He was a traitor anyway.
That's
He
true.
ain't that face.
The whole face.
I got a question. If they in Belgrave prison, how the hell did this man contact a whole army on the other side of the world?
I mean, how does Harley do what Harley does?
I don't know, because Harley went from being an acrobatic, psychotic woman to freaking mercenary, acrobatic, psycho woman.
Yeah.
And
I mean, but we saw some of that in her solo movie.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Because she was very proficient with a gun in her solo movie in Birds of Prey.
And she was not proficient with that in the cartoon series, at least not that I remember. Nate, she used to just she's basically almost on Bloodsport and Deadshot's level with guns. I mean, she took out a whole palace full of guards.
Well, that's what happens when you crazy as hell. I mean, I don't mean say it like that, but crazy can do a lot of crazy damn things. Look,
I mean, I also feel like she probably learned to protect herself after she broke up with Joker.
Well, she had to, right? She's been on the run. So what happened to the kid?
Got people after her.
What happened to the kid? She ran off with the kid and she robbed the bank. That's how she got caught. And
Maybe
then
the kid's somewhere safe.
Flag. What the hell happened to Flag's love? What happened to Enchantress? What happened to June? Dr. June? She just poof.
I don't even want to talk about Flag. That made me so upset.
Yeah, I could see his exit was coming. He was much better in this movie than he was in the last one. The last one, he was
that's true.
He was so rigid in the first movie, and they fully expanded the character in the second one. Flag was so much better in this movie.
What is it with John Cena and playing characters that double cross everybody?
But can I tell you something?
He wasn't double crossing though.
No.
Waller, he wasn't double crossing Waller, and he wasn't double crossing the American government. But he's a soldier. He's a true soldier. Think about it. Back in the day, that would have been Flag, right? Flag would have did that in the last movie. Go ahead, Nate. I'm sorry.
Out of all of the character development, out of all the layering, which I thought this movie was exquisite in its layering, I have to give John Cena credit.
Oh, he's doing much better.
He killed the game. They let him steal the movie, and he stole it. This movie was supposed to be about Idris and the rat lady. He stole this movie. He was like, when that fool turned around, and he was like, "You and your tidy whities. That's racist." I screamed. I screamed.
No, I still say the best line he had, and I quote, "I will kill every man, woman, and child if it means peace."
I know, like he said, "Yes, I love peace, and I will kill every man, woman, and child to have it." And I was like, "Damn!"
Very much so, soldier mentality.
Yeah, but when he turned around and said, "That's racist," I screamed. I was in the movie theater and I screamed. I was like, "Get up,
They're
Cena!"
in the middle of the jungle and he's sleeping
In tidy whities.
in tidy whities.
In tidy whities.
So let's talk about the beginning. So it starts off with Michael Rooker, who was playing Savant, who is basically a vigilante in the comic books. And in the comic books, Batman kind of turned him away from being a vigilante. He was basically like, "Dude, you suck." And I don't know how he ended up in prison. They didn't really say, but he obviously is a good marksman because he was able to, throw the ball and
Kill a bird with a tennis ball
without throwing the ball directly at the bird. So Waller shows up, he volunteers, they put the little thing in him, and then he goes off on his mission with Weasel, Blackguard, TDK, I think the other one was Javelin, Mongo. Well, it wasn't Mongo, it was Lady Mongo. I can't remember her. Yeah.
I think it was Mongo.
Flag, Captain Boomerang, who had poop on his shoe from someplace. I don't know where he got it from. And then, of course, Harley, who shows up, and they're like, "Well, hey, Harl, what the hell are you doing here?" And she's like, "Well, got caught robbing a bank." So they get to the island. Oh, go ahead. Nick.
Talk about obscure characters. TDK.
Yeah.
The detachable kid?
Yes.
What the hell? His arms came off, and I was like, and then he was just like,
Right. How you gonna just be smacking people lightly?
Y'all do know who TDK was played by, right? That was Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion. Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know who
from not Sanctuary. God, I can't think of the name of the movie. TV show.
The TV show that I remember.
Firefly. Josh Whedon, Firefly.
But wait, wasn't he just on was something called the Newbie or the Rookie? The Rookie.
Yeah, the Rookie. Yep. No. So yes, TDK is the detachable kid, which means looks like his arms detach.
And then he can smack you around lightly.
So they come up on the island. First of all, nobody did their research, and the weasel can't swim. So but the weasel jumped into the water because that was their way off the boat. And then I guess Savant is just like, did y'all not know that he couldn't swim?
First of all, who would expect a weasel to swim?
I was just waiting for Dora to show up. Swiper, no swiping.
He's a fox, not a weasel.
Well, pretty close. What kind of dog is that? What makes you think that's a dog?
Dude,
that was so funny.
Conversation was hysterical.
So funny.
So they get to the island, and that's when shit. So Weasel dies right off the bat. He's dead. Savant pulls him out, but he's drowned, and we'll come back to that later. So then Blackguard, who was Pete Davidson's character,
fucking Pete Davidson,
walks up and goes, "Hey guys, I know you're there. I'm the one that called you.
I brought them. I brought them here like I was supposed to."
And Flag goes, "Did y'all not know that this guy just turned on us and turned us in? This is bad. This is bad." And Waller's just sitting there like in shock, like, "Well, that sucks." So Pete Davidson then loses his face because the guards obviously don't care.
They hit him with the 50 cal. Fool lost the whole face.
So obviously this is now R-rated. So that's one other good thing about this. This was in the same vein as Deadpool, where it was R-rated, and they didn't mess around with the R rate. This was a hard,
There was some
hard R.
gore.
There
There was some
hard
gore.
R, which I think the last movie was missing, and a lot of people said that it was just too like. And I get what
Kid-friendly.
WB was doing. They were like, "Well, we can't do that because, you know, for kids and all that." But whatever. So you know, they do that, and then it was just pandemonium from that point on. So let's see. Captain Boomerang dies, but we got to see him use his powers
For all of 2 seconds.
for all of 2 seconds.
Hey, okay, the one I couldn't catch, I looked because I was in the movie theater, so it's not like I had the ability to pause and rewind. Who was the orange muscle chick?
Mongal.
Mongal. So if you recall on the Superman cartoon show, there was a place called War World, and there was Mongo ran it before. I think what the hell was his name? The guy that can't die, the immortal man that's been living. Savage. Vandal Savage ended up taking it over. But it was Superman came there and they were trying to control Superman, and Superman ended up beating their butt, and then Mongo got mad. So she's from that place. I don't know if she's related to Mongo, but she is she does have something to do with War World.
And I guess her superpower is like superhuman strength.
Yes.
I know what. I know.
Yes. She's an alien warrior. She's an alien
flew
warrior.
at that helicopter like a monkey.
Yeah, and she is the daughter of Mongo, who was a Superman villain. So I didn't know about her because she was never in the cartoon. I knew about Mongo, but I didn't know he had a daughter, let alone how the heck would she be on Earth and captured? And him not come save her. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And
I thought she was like a bastardized like Starfire. I was like, what is Starfire doing in prison? I was very confused.
Got burnt. She got burnt up.
Burnt. Boomerang got pulverized.
Mm-hmm.
He got sliced and then exploded.
Well, but what about Savant?
No. So poor Captain Boomerang, he was not surviving that. I don't even know where did those arrows and shit come from that killed him.
I think it was from the trees.
Right.
I think from when they chopped up the rotors chopped up the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And then
like it was debris.
Wood debris.
It was all debris.
Oh my God. So he wasn't smart enough to stay hidden. And then it looked like Harley and Flag got burned up.
Yeah.
But they did not. And then Javelin just got shot up because all he can do is throw it. I mean, I don't even know why he was there. What can he do?
Well, I mean, but TDK was smacking them and caressing their lips and faces and got shot up both the body and the arms. First, they shot his arms up.
And then he was on the ground. Oh, my arms, my arms.
That was the... I swear I was in tears. I was like, what am I watching?
So she not only was the person that played Mongo, in Suicide Squad, but she was also Oriana in Wonder Woman. So she was in both 2 DC movies. And I don't know if Oriana survived in Wonder Woman.
Well, but you got to think about it like this.
She died.
But you got to think about it like this.
Oriana.
Yeah, she was one of the beginning folks. I remember her.
Yep, she died fighting the German soldiers on the beach.
Right. So what I'm saying is that, no disrespect, I'm not trying to throw stones at anybody. Mm-hmm. There to be in Wonder Woman or this person, you have to be a certain build, and there's not a whole lot of people with that build like that.
Yeah, because they weren't going to get Gina because she's blacklisted now.
Yeah.
Right.
And plus she probably, I think when they started filming it, she probably had a nice contract with Disney, so she wasn't going to go do anything. And she messed that all up, but we digress. But go ahead, Big Nate.
No, I was just saying that, that makes sense that she would have went from Wonder Woman to this because she has a certain build, and she flew through the air at that helicopter. And I was
she was big enough to actually be Wonder Woman more so than Gal Gadot. And
I
I'm
think
sorry,
she's a
that's
little
still
too.
gonna be my stickler for Gal
I
Gadot.
think she's a little too short, but she's straight swole.
Right. So,
I mean, now you know in the comic books, Wonder Woman was 6'4", 6'5", and so then you have Gal Gadot that's 5'8" and skinny. I don't get it, but I digress.
mm-hmm. So at that point, basically the whole team is dead, and then we're all sitting in the theater like, oh wait a minute, um, what? This is the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
gets.
was like, are they gonna like go back in time and do like a timeline
They
thing?
did go back in time a little bit, but they go back in time to show you that
8
there is a
hours.
Team B that was made of Bloodsport, King Shark, Peacemaker, Rat King 2, or Rat Keeper 2. Sorry,
Rat Keeper 2.
Rat Keeper 2, that's her official name actually in the freaking comic books. Her official name is Rat Keeper, but she's known as Rat Keeper 2 because she was the second underneath her father. And am I missing anybody? Oh, and Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man, yeah.
Yeah, and that was not Polka Dot Man's powers in the comic books. That he did not have those abilities in the comic books. So they kind of he did stuff using. He really started as a criminal after Batman came out as a vigilante. He started as a criminal and he used like polka dot theme weapons or something crazy. It was stupid. That's why they changed his powers. Like, yeah, you're kind of
these
stupid,
are much better,
but this is a better power. And we're gonna give you all about your mom. Yeah, how about that?
But dude, I'm going too far, but the way that he had to get them polka dots out, I was like, that was
hilarious.
That's nasty.
That's just nasty.
Twice a day?
Mm-hmm.
He got to take the dump of the century twice a day.
No,
they threw that up.
He
threw that up.
them.
That wasn't a dump. That
was even worse. That's even worse.
Yeah, it's even more painful.
What do polka dots?
And you are right. Like? Mei Ling Ninja, which is her name, is 5'7", so she is an inch shorter than Diana, but more swole than Diana. She's more Amazonian built, but shorter.
She's shorter. And you can put this tall, skinny woman that's 5'8", 5'9", you could put lifts on her boots and make her look 6 feet and be thin and strong versus this woman looks, to me, 5'7" is still tall, but when you're muscular, it didn't look the same.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
But no, so I mean, when I saw the polka dot man and the polka dots are eating through his face and popping up, and I was like,
it's like, oh, it's a rash. It's a rash. And John Cena is Pacemaker, like you said, he was just, or Peacemaker, he was just
the show.
If to save the world, I need to eat all the dicks on the beach, I will do that. And Racky, she's just like, why would you even think about that? Why would that even be a thing?
And then they're asking him, why would there be dicks on the beach? He was like, you don't know what a madman will do. And I'm like,
so
shut up.
So Waller told Bloodsport, which is Idris Elba's character, I need men with certain skills. Everybody has unique skills on these missions.
Oh my god.
And then, so his thing was he can turn anything into a weapon. So then she introduces him to Peacemaker, and Peacemaker has the same bloody power. And he just looks at her and he's like, but I thought, wait a minute.
Unique skills. Wait, hold on.
So King Shark is descended from he is a demigod, basically. So he's like Maui. He's a demigod. But he was also a Flash villain. He wasn't really and he was a little bit more intelligent in the comics. He was not what he is right now. And this, because he was Groot. Let's just put it this way. He was Groot, basically.
But he said more words.
Well, that's because Groot can only say, he expresses a lot by saying Groot. Is the way he says Groot. Yes. So,
Huh?
Friend. Nom nom.
So they're in the.
I
So
like reading.
they were in. They were
As he
camping.
proceeds to
So
read
the
the book
first
upside
night-
down.
So the first night of Team B out camping, so Polka Dot Man, first of all, he goes and throws up the polka dots because he has to expel. We find out later on he's been infested by a virus, interstellar virus, thanks to his mom.
Interstellar virus.
It's not catchy, but he throws out he has to expel polka dots every 2 days or twice a day.
Twice a day.
He has to throw up polka dots,
or he will die.
And she did this to all her kids. And some of them died and some of them lived. So it'd be interesting to see what happened to the ones that lived. But I digress. So he throws that up and Bloodsport sees him. But then Bloodsport turns over and he sees King Shark trying to eat Ratkeeper.
Hungry.
So she goes, oh, well, what do you do? Or she's like, oh, but his eyes look so innocent and he would never do that. And then her little rat friend goes, yeah, he was trying to eat you. And she was like, oh, hell no.
And then we find out
I love how
that someone has a rat phobia.
Uh-huh.
No, but I love how Bloodsport, he shot that man with everything he could, and it did not kill King. That's when I realized
not phase him at all.
That's when I realized how literally tough King Shark really was. At first, I couldn't figure out why he would be there until I saw that. And I was like, oh, you can't kill this.
Well, all of them, they always need muscle. And I will say this. He's much better than the last guy, which was Killer Croc. That is how Killer Croc should have been in the last movie. Just tough as nails. Because think about what Batman used to go through fighting Killer Croc. It was not easy fights for him. And Killer Croc was not always intelligent. He was kind of like on King Shark's level of intelligence in this movie.
But he wasn't super ghetto thug.
Oh my God, that was just horrible. Here, let me put on this Versace.
What the was this? I was just watching like, this is horrible.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah.
Hey, hold on. I need BET. What?
He had a gold. Didn't he have a gold chain too?
And gold in some parts of his teeth. Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me. Nah, bro. I ain't asking. I'm telling. Like, what the? Oh my God. Killer Croc, before he was born that way, but he was a white dude that had a skin disorder. Mm-hmm. And he turned into what he is, and that, he became Killer Croc because he was ostracized. He was not some ghetto fabulous dude, metahuman. That's not who he was. So, yeah, no.
Character development was trash. Proceed.
Yes. So then Waller figures out that Flag is still alive. They should have known this to begin with if he has this tracker in his body. But anyway, they proceed to then break him out because they think he's being held by the enemy. And he's really being held by rebels. But those poor rebels, it was... I don't even know how to explain what happened to the rebels.
You know what? Can I say it?
Go ahead.
In the immortal words of Jim Ross, it was a slobber knocker.
No, a slobber knocker means that the other side put up a fight.
They tried, a feeble one.
When did they try? King Shark ate one guy whole.
That's not funny.
Whole. The guy was just standing there. He wasn't. And here's what gets me. They don't realize, if you see the people there, none of them are really military. And like Alice Braga's character said later on, you Americans, y'all always come in and just want to blow shit up automatically.
Facts.
Agreed.
So they had saved Flag, and Flag was sitting there talking to her, and and then the Squad B comes in, and they're like, oh. what's going on, Flag? And Flag's like, wait, what and Alice Bragger's character goes, what happened to my team? Why didn't they tell me that you guys were here? And they're like, oh, there's nobody here. What are you talking about? No, nope, nobody here.
Nobody here. No one's here.
So they end up getting together and they end up walking toward the city. At the same time, Harley is being romanced because Harley didn't die. She got captured by the enemy. She's being romanced by the mayor that took over, the El Presidente that took over.
President.
And
I will admit, the man was fine. But
and they were discussing, his plans. And he was like, yeah, you're going to make a perfect wife and all this stuff. And then he started talking about killing children. And he turned around, and I think it was a split second. And she shot him dead in the heart. He had no chance at all.
Nothing.
Just no chance. And she was like, well, I've been telling myself I'll take warning signs and all this. And I think when you started discussing killing children, that was the biggest warning sign I could have. And she was like, I'm not taking any chances.
No. Funny. If she saw warning signs, she decided she was just going to kill him.
She was going to kill him. Because with her track record and the men that she likes, they're better off dead.
Mm-hmm.
So funny.
So, of course, the General takes over and he arrests her and puts her away. And then I don't know what makes them think that torture works on Harley Quinn. Do they forget what she lived through to become Harley? Joker literally put those electrical things on her head. How many times? The paddles. Well, not the paddles. He had the ones they use on insane people. He did that to her I don't know how many times before she jumped in a vat of chemicals. And you think that you
electrocuting her
is gonna hurt
with
her.
Not even like actually electrocuting her.
It was
they
a cattle
use
prod.
like a taser. Yeah,
it was
like a
cattle prod. It was a cattle.
Like, oh no. Like, have you met Harley Quinn?
Now, I did admit that I thought that when the torturer turned around and was on his phone, I thought he was about to take a selfie. And he was going to see she wasn't knocked out. I was so sure.
As soon as he turned
when he turned around, I was like, she's not asleep. She's not unconscious.
No, but I yelled at, you don't turn your back to Harley Quinn. And I didn't realize I was in a movie theater. And I just said, what are you doing? And this guy turned, the white guy, there was a young white guy right behind me. He was like, facts. And so
she put them thighs around that man.
She said,
and cracked that man's neck.
Thunder thighs, baby.
Killed that man in probably about a minute.
But what I don't understand,
I thought she was just gonna choke him out.
No,
but then I was like, oh no, she gonna keep going. She gonna do it.
Harley Quinn's gonna kill that man. But my thought, out of all the stuff you do, but I really thought to myself, wow, how evil can you be when you light up birds? I was like, damn.
Oh, the general. Yeah, he's a jerk. But that guy always plays that role. He always plays. That was his role in one of the James Bond movies. He was just a rapist general for some small country. That was basically what he did. That's all he did. He's always playing some asshole dictator somewhere.
So she kills him, gets free, and then after she kills him, she picks up two guns and starts to just basically kill a whole squad.
At the same time, the other squad has found out she's alive, so they go to save her. They got this all fancy plan. Peacemaker's about to kill that poor woman.
The one with the
receptionist.
Yes, the one with the jigglies.
I'm about to say the one that was hired for one purpose and
to run into the room. The run into the room jiggling.
Yes.
So she gets free, of course, because she's killed all these people, and she gets out and she gets in a cab, and the cab driver's like, okay, where you want to go? And she's about to tell him, and she sees Flag and Bloodsport running past, and she's like, okay, hey. So she goes and talks to them, and Flag's like, well, we were coming to save you. And she goes, oh, well, if you want, I can go back.
so funny.
And then she hugs Flag for like
Oh,
2
that
minutes.
was the most
20 minutes.
uncomfortable. That was the most uncomfortable hug for
Hold
him
on.
ever.
Then the thing was when he
He
patted her on the
caressed her back with his gun.
with the gun, I was in tears. I could not be consoled. I said, this fool is patting her back with the gun.
And what was
Stop
up with
it.
Idris's alien mask? It was cool, but and what is with so this happened in the first movie. I don't know if they have to pay to see the actor all the time, but Bloodsport usually wears his mask all the time unless he's not on mission. But he doesn't have that mask not off. Same thing with Deadshot. Deadshot doesn't take his mask off until he's not in a mission. And it's like they had to show Will Smith's face for so long, and they have to show Idris' face for so long. I don't know if that's in there. It must be in
Probably
their
in their contract. Yeah.
It has to be in their contract.
Okay, total side note. What the
Mhm.
hell was up with Idris's run?
What do you
I
mean?
was like, the way he ran, I was like, does he got the doo-doo? Why is he running like this?
I don't like you.
He must have to boo-boo.
I don't like you.
What is going on with this run?
I really don't like you. I do not like you.
It's true.
Oh
I
Lord.
said, he must be incontinent. What is going on with him?
So I will say this. This had a much more doable plot as far as because this is what Task Force X is for. Task Force X is an undercover op to go do stuff that they can't send other people to do. So and then blame it on them if it goes wrong. So their idea is to go in there and destroy all this data on Project Starfish and get rid of it so that the country doesn't use it against the world. Whatever. It's to protect the world. Which we should have all known Waller was lying
Oh, of
at
course.
some point in time.
Aren't they always lying?
So they get the Mad Thinker played wonderfully by Doctor Who, Doctor Number 12, Peter Capaldi. Although the light bulbs in his head just did not seem right for his, but that's his character. That's how he looks in the comics. So
How about to say that's what I mean? What can you do? That's what he's supposed to look like.
yeah, but he's what's up, Wild Knight. But he's he looked okay, but it looked weird. Like one of the bulbs looked like it was a burnt out Christmas light. It really did. Like the one on this side of his face where his ear had, they never went into why his ear was messed up over there, but he had like a bulb right here that was just like, it looked like it was just burnt the fuck up. Like it shouldn't even, like he could unscrew it and put in a new one. It would light up and maybe his whole head would light back up.
Who knows?
So they end up breaking into Project Starfish, and they use the rain, and oh my god, those poor soldiers. That was a
Massacre.
Total and complete massacre. King Shark ripped somebody in half.
In half.
Again, people.
Organs
this is
everywhere.
a hard R. A hard
Organs
R.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And you saw them disperse. Quite graphically. And I don't know if Nate was sitting there rocking in the corner like, oh, sweet Lord Jesus. Oh, Lord.
I grabbed my poor oldest son's shoulder so hard. I thought I didn't know what to do. I just grabbed him and he was like, I know it's gross, Dad, but let me go.
Can you let me go?
This was like
you
a
please let me
Mortal Kombat kill. Like the newer Mortal Kombat, because my wife always says, oh yeah, I could play Mortal Kombat. And then I showed her some of the newer Mortal Kombat. And she's like, oh my God. What the hell happened? I'm like, yeah, better graphics. This is what happens.
Those finishers. Those finishers, man.
But so they break in, they start setting things, and it was kind of cute that King Shark had made a little
of the
a C4 of Peacemaker. He was like,
that was adorable.
You.
It's like that doesn't look like me.
And then everybody left him. And he's
I know. I felt
just
so bad.
Oh.
Like, friend.
So they're setting bombs, and then Flag and Ratkeeper and go down with Mad Thinker, and the Mad Thinker shows them what the project was, which was a giant space starfish, which the American government, of course, captured and was doing experiments on. And it has, just think of it's about as bad as a xenomorph, except they don't explode out of your chest. But it's a big starfish stuck to your face, all being controlled by the bigger starfish.
And that starfish just takes over your body, and if you don't have it, you die.
Yeah. If they can't, and they showed one of them removed from somebody's face, and it was literally, there was no face there from where the starfish was wrapped around their face. It was just, yeah, it's just horrible. So the place ends up blowing up faster than they thought. Staryu gets loose, kills the Mad Thinker, which was also another Mortal Kombat attack. But Staryu is no joke. But he basically, and I think that was also on. Actually, I don't know if you guys remember, there was an episode of Justice League where, or maybe it was Superman, I can't remember.
No,
where Superman had one on his chest, and he was in like this fantasy land, but they was able to rip it off. It wasn't as bad as the movie, but he was like in his own dream sequence where I think Krypton had survived and all this stuff, and he was being shown his happy place and all this. And Mongo, of all people, so old girl's dad had actually attached that to him to be able to kill him. But go ahead, Big Nate. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that that the thinker had explained that the babies or whatever that they released to go over you basically drain out of all of your, I couldn't remember what type of energies they had, and it feeds Stario. So that's how Stario kept growing.
Yeah,
because he was receiving the energy from the puppet human that the baby that starfish just ate the brain and did everything, kept them in dreamland and took their energy and sent it to Stario. Oh, that hole in that person's face when they took that star off.
It was not pleasant.
Wild Knight brought up that it was actually Batman Beyond that I'm thinking about. So there was an episode of Batman Beyond where future Batman had to save, basically the Justice League got taken over by Stargirl, and they were again whooping everybody's ass. So this also happened, which is funny. This also happened in one of the what was it? It was one of the Teen Titan movies where it was Teen Titans versus Justice League. So just imagine that, where the Justice League got taken over by something. Sorry, cat's pissing me off. I didn't know she was locked in here with me. I feel like now she is my, like I'm in Watchmen, and the cat's like, oh, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Sounds like a cat.
Yes. So there was that, and yeah, the whole thing with Starro is just he takes over, and this is what gets me. So Waller gets mad because she wants them to leave, and she wants them to take the data that proves the United States. They want to destroy the data. Rick Flag, unfortunately, R.I.P. Because him and Peacemaker get into it because Peacemaker's like, oh no, I got to protect the data. That's the most important thing. I got to get that. That data has to be destroyed. You can't take that. Oh, Black Mercy. Okay, I think I called. I remember that. But so Flag ends up dying. He had Peacemaker at one point. He had him down, but he wasn't paying attention to his surroundings, and a shard of glass gets put in his heart, and I mean pushed all the way in. That was again, yeah. He ain't coming back. He ain't no superhero. He ain't no metahuman. He ain't coming back.
That's it.
So at the same time, Ratkeeper sees this, and she's like, "Whoop, I'm out."
She's like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, so Ratcatcher 2 sees that, and she's like, deuces. And Mr. Peacekeeper chases her and is about to kill her. And then Idris does his superhero landing. or Bloodsport does a superhero landing after the whole building is shaking, and how many floors did he drop down?
Like 10.
After the first one, he shouldn't have been able to survive. He shouldn't have been able to
No,
survive
literally.
that one.
After the first one, I was expecting him to not have ankles.
And then he falls down a lot of stairs, and then they do the gun show off because they're both good with guns. And fortunately, Idris still had another good line. Bloodsport still had a good line. Smaller bullets. He should have added "bitch" on the end of that.
Yes. That's
And
what I was thinking.
Peacemaker ends up dying. Wow! I'm so glad you live next to the highway.
Welcome to my life.
Did you have your window open?
Yes, because I don't have no AC.
So Peacemaker gets shot in the neck. I don't know. Maybe it's me, Big Nate and Christina, but I would have shot him in the head a couple more times after that.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
there's only one way to be sure. Hold on real quick. You guys can keep talking. I got to let this cat out my house. Out my room. Not out my house.
You heard what he said. He said
Out the house.
house.
Bye.
You know, because no, so then he shoots him. He hits Peacemaker in the neck. And
in the
then
neck.
In the neck. And
In
then
the throat.
I was like, that's disgusting.
That's nasty. He was dripping. He
Who?
was dripping.
Who was dripping?
Peacemaker.
Oh yeah.
From the throat.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of blood. So Ratcatcher survives, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go beat Starro because he's about to take over this whole city. And Waller's like, no, you guys are coming back. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, are you really thinking about this real good, lady? Because if Starro
takes over the whole island,
Starrio's not gonna stop at that island. What makes you think he's gonna stop at that island?
Also, every time you say island, I just think about Moana. Island.
Make way!
No, but I was sitting there thinking to myself, the island on Thursday, that whole hemisphere on Friday, the world by Tuesday. I'm like, why wouldn't you stop him now?
Exactly.
People
and one other thing, Starro, Kaiju, as old boy said in her
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Where's the Justice League? There's literally an alien starfish attacking a city. This is the same thing people have problems with Avengers in the separate movies. Like Iron Man is fighting, the president gets kidnapped, and Iron Man is fighting all these people in Iron Man 3. Where's the Avengers? Not even one. Rhodey was there, but nobody else. You telling me nobody else could have showed up to help during this whole fight? Nobody? Anyone?
Nobody.
Bueller? So, Waller's about to blow him up, and then one of her people slaps the dog crap out of her.
That was so funny.
With looks like almost a javelin.
No, it was her cane because she had polio.
Oh, did she? I didn't know she had polio. Wait a minute. It's 2020 something. She had polio?
MS, polio. She had something to do with her arm. It was her cane. And you know, you had a cane with the.
Oh, yeah. Probably MS. Yeah.
MS. Mm-hmm. And she went kapow! And I went, ooh.
She was on the ground.
Mm-hmm. So they go and, they do defeat Starro after, unfortunately, Polka Dot Man also rip.
Poor Polka Dot Man.
He
was just trying to live his best life.
Bloodsport said, it's your mom, because he had to think about his mom. And all he saw was his mom sitting there attacking the city, and he went for her leg. And I'm like, why wouldn't you go for not just her leg, but there's other parts of that.
Like her eye?
No. My problem is the celebration. He's 100 stories tall.
I'm a superhero.
Kablam.
So funny.
Idris then, Bloodsport, I keep saying Idris, I'm sorry. Bloodsport then starts attacking everybody that's attacking him because Starro calls on his horde. And Idris is putting up the best fight he can.
He did a good job. He did a good job.
And then Harley ends up, Ratcatcher ends up using all the rats. There's a lot of rats on that tiny little island. And Big Nate, you froze or something. Something's going on with your camera.
Go ahead. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
I'm
So
checking
there.
Elijah's flight. Go ahead.
Okay. So, so I don't know how many that island. How big is that island? Have that many rats?
I don't know, but I mean, you know how rats populate.
There was about 10,000 rats attacking that starfish.
Yeah.
So
It's a little nasty.
Harley ends up punching, or not punching, but using the javelin that was given her by Javelin to go through the eye, which I thought
through the eye.
Yeah, because that was disgusting. And then all the
That was
rats
nasty.
get into the eye and basically start tearing apart all the little brain matter that was in there. And Thario's like, well, damn.
That was nasty.
He was like, I just remember flying through space. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, then why didn't you just go back into space?
And looking up at the stars.
Mm-hmm. So, in the end, Mr. Bloodsport then basically says, you're going to let us go because I got this evidence and I've uploaded it someplace. And if you ever come after me, my daughter, or any of these people that's a part of this group, I will release this information to the world. Mm-hmm. And I ain't playing with your punk ass. So, Harley's mad. She's like, well, Flag died for this. And he's like, look, this is what we need to do. I'm sorry, but this is what we need to do.
We have no choice.
We have no choice.
If we uplift it, give it to the American people, we have no bartering.
Right, and we still got explosive devices in our neck.
Right. Literally.
No.
So throughout all this, Bloodsport's daughter had, oh my God, that first conversation with them, that was a wow. There was lots of F-bombs and I can't believe you're my fucking father and blah, blah, blah.
Fuck you! No, fuck you!
I'm like, is there anybody else? It was hilarious, but also like, damn. Do you know that was the actress from, what was that Oprah Winfrey movie?
Yeah, I know.
Time one.
Yeah,
about time. It wasn't Oprah Winfrey, but Oprah Winfrey was like one of the witches in it or something.
No, it was the main character. I remember.
Yeah,
her.
She was the main character in that one. It came out a couple years ago. Was it A Stitch in Time or no? It wasn't Stitch in Time. It was something I can't remember.
It was something in time.
Mm-hmm. She was going across the multiverse looking for her father, basically. You didn't see that? I thought that would have been a movie you would have been interested in. I am shocked.
I saw it.
But all in all, I think it was a good movie. In the end, we do see Peacekeeper survived. I was hoping it was going to be, Wrinkle in Time. Thank you, Wild Knight. Wrinkle in Time. That's what it was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
I was hoping that, it was going to be Flag, but I knew.
Me too.
But just so y'all know, Peacekeeper is getting his own movie.
And that's what I'm about to say. Isn't it getting its own movie or series or something like that?
He's getting it. Actually, it's going to be a series on HBO Max. And they've already, I think they started filming. It's 8 episodes. So John Cena, he doesn't need to go back to WWE, although he just came back for SummerSlam. But he honestly does not need to do that. He's going big. I think he's going to be probably bigger than Batista is. He probably will take The Rock's place when The Rock gets tired of doing what he does. And just so y'all know, Jungle Cruise was excellent.
Was it really?
Yes. It was much better than Tom Cruise's Mummy, which was just horrendous.
Yikes.
And it was long, a little bit longer than it needed to be, but it was a good movie. This was, I think, the right length and the right actors, and it was put together. There's going to be holes because it's an action movie. It's a comic action movie. There's always going to be holes. And they're never going to make comic fans happy with what they have. It's just not going to happen. And I know there's going to be some people that don't like it, but I think there's going to be enough people that do like it that we're going to get a Suicide Squad 3. I don't know what they're going to call it.
Oh, no. This movie will get it. We are going to get a 3. There's no doubt.
So the question is, what happened to Deadshot and his daughter? What happened to June or Enchantress? What happened to her? I mean, she doesn't have Enchantress anymore. But her and Flag had some kind of, they was lovey-dovey at the end, and they were supposed to, right? Harley is going to have another movie, we know.
Of course.
I don't know. what else can happen? And I don't know if it's going to stay in James Gunn's hands because he's going back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is going to have Thor in it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, and then shout out to what is his name? The guy that played in Thor Ragnarok, the director of Thor Ragnarok. I can't think of how to pronounce his name. But he was Ratcatcher 1, the father.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also in Free Guy, which comes out next week with Ryan Reynolds.
That's the movie I saw.
Oh, you saw Free Guy already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't tell me.
No, I got to see a free screening.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Was it
good? It was really good. It was just what I expected from a Ryan Reynolds movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Birds of Prey wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that good though, CJ. I mean, Obi-Wan wasn't that great of a villain. Obi-Wan and
yeah, him as a villain was weird. But also, I would rank it higher than most DC movies.
It was better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah, agreed.
Go ahead, Big Nate. I'm sorry.
I was saying that director also directed he's also a Star Wars director. The Mandalorian, the one that directed, that was the Ratcatcher.
He might have did one or he might have did one or two, but I didn't think he did.
No, he was part of the Mandalorian director crew. Check it out.
Oh, okay.
Tahiki something.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that was Taki Waititi, I think.
Yeah, you got it.
But I can't say his name right. I'm sorry. He's from New Zealand though.
That's cool.
Yeah. So and I don't know if y'all know what else he was famous for, but he did work with Ryan Reynolds on another movie that y'all might know, and they brought it up in the trailer for Free Guy before this movie, which was hilarious. And do y'all know what movie him and Ryan Reynolds worked on? Green Lantern. Lantern. And it was the most hilarious
they
thing.
They did bring it up in the trailer.
No, they did. Yes, they did.
Really
so
funny.
Nate,
it was
you might not have had this trailer, but they had the trailer with the four main actors for Free Guy. And they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, this is so awesome to work with Ryan. This is the first time I've worked with, him and Ryan Reynolds. Like, yeah, this is the first time we've worked together and this is the most beautiful thing. And the other two actors look at them and go, didn't y'all work together on another movie? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? No, we haven't. We've never worked together before. And they're like, Green Lantern. And they're like, no, don't know what that is. We've never worked together before, ever. Nope. And they're denying it. Then it shows those two actors, and then it goes back, and Ryan Reynolds and that guy's gone. They're gone. It's just seats there, and they're just
so
like,
huh.
So nobody. I think that's a running gag. Nobody wants to associate with Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Yes, yeah, they don't want to associate with that movie at all because it was Trash Goblin. And I didn't realize that. So the budget for Green Lantern was $200 million, and they made $219 million. It barely broke even. Barely. So, all in all, Christina, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was great. Love me some Harley Quinn. Frankly, I just love Margot Robbie. I think she's great. So yeah. Just thought it was a good time.
Big Nate?
Peacemaker stole it. As much as I don't want to admit that, because of course, we love all the actors in there. But if it wasn't Peacemaker, that movie wouldn't have been as funny as it was. I was really, and which then makes me go, okay, they're gonna give him a series on HBO Max. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. If they give him the range, the range they gave him in this movie, which is a hard R, not a soft R. Hard R, and this show will be dope.
It will probably be the same lines as Watchmen TV show and some of the other stuff they've had on there, like True Blood or Oz. It won't be a soft it won't be like PG-13. They don't have a reason to do that. Why? It's their streaming platform. So we'll see where they go. I think it was an excellent movie, much better than the original. Pacing was better. The character development was much better than the first one. And yeah, but yeah, if you guys get a chance to go see Jungle Cruise, I'll be seeing Free Guy next week. I think something else comes out. I think Aretha Franklin's thing comes out next week, which I have zero interest in seeing. But I know my wife and her sister is going to go see it. And then at the end of the month, it's Candyman, which I'm sure I'm the only one in this crew that's going to see that.
I will send Elijah with someone, but it's not for me.
My wife won't see it. She won't see it. She doesn't do stuff like that. There's a new movie coming out called Malignant. She won't see that because it's demonic. She won't deal with that. She don't do that. No demonic.
What If is also next week?
What If? Oh yeah, What If starts on Wednesday. So that's probably what we'll be discussing, which is Friday. Captain. The first episode will be about Captain
Carter.
Captain Carter. So we have a lot going on, and Eternals are coming out. No, Shang-Chi is next. I think that comes out either this month or next month.
Yeah.
And then after that is the Eternals in November.
Shang-Chi in September.
Okay, September. And Shang-Chi, and then the Eternals is in November, although I'm still kind of about that one. And I know we don't discuss that much here for my horror fans. Chucky has his own TV show, which is coming out on Sci-Fi, which is a weird place for it. So I don't know how graphic they're going to be, but it won't be anywhere near like if it was on HBO or Showtime.
And then Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's at the end of the year. Still, even after Loki, no trailers. No trailers. Still haven't seen anything. But after Loki, it does explain how all three Spider-Men are together or show up.
Maybe.
Although the Spider-Man into the multiverse could have explained that as well. So, yeah. So I think all in all, good times. Christina, is there anything you would like to promote or speak on or bring up? Shout out? No?
Shout out to my mental health because I'm one job free.
Yay! You.
Yippee.
Big Nate. No. We're going to end with you. Because I know what you got to do. So we're going to end with you. So, but I have started streaming. I did start playing Back for Blood, which I had the beta for that, which was awesome. Is if you ever played Left 4 Dead, which is a zombie hunting game. It's basically a zombie survival game. It can be up to 4 players, either computer controlled or 4 people, playing as teams, and you're running around trying to get from one mission to another. And it can be very intense and exciting. I do have something up on my page, which is twitch.tv/DirectConos. You can find me there. And then, Big Nate, go ahead with your bad self.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the old school drive from 1 to 5 with me, Big Nate, is going to be rolling tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and noon Pacific. Tune in. Make sure you're grooving with it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. I want to thank everyone for joining us. So next week we'll be back discussing What If.
What if?
And Captain Carter. And then anything else that comes up in the world that might be interesting, and we'll see. When is the Obi-Wan show coming out? Is that next year? And then Mandalorian or Book of Boba should be coming out soon too as well, shouldn't it? Let me see.
We're going to have so much nerd stuff to talk about.
Book of Boba Fett is scheduled to come out. Come on. Give me something here. Does not say. Nope, it does not say.
I checked and I didn't see a thing.
Filming wrapped on June 8th of this year, of all things. And Obi-Wan took over from there. It is set to premiere December 2021. Obi-Wan is scheduled to release in 2022. So we got that. Of course, our boy Anakin's gonna be back in that as Vader. So we will see how these things go. But yeah, Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen is supposed to be in it. I don't know if the Emperor's going to be in it. And Joel Edgerton is supposed to be in it as well.
I saw a rumor that Tom Hiddleston was cast as Palpatine in something.
I have not heard that. That would be kind of
I saw
weird. That would be weird. We'll have to see.
I saw that. Hold on. It was a day ago. Yeah. Star Wars art. Oh wait, it's art. Never mind. Hold on. Yeah, it's just an art. And I was like, what? That'd be interesting though.
Well, all right. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll be back next week. I don't know if it's going to be Friday or Saturday. Depends on my co-host's schedule. And we'll talk to y'all then. And have a good day and good night.
Hey.